Hello and welcome to a Let's Play of International Karate. It's a pretty, well, I'd like to say a simple fighting game, but all Commodore 64 games are pretty much simple. Um, uh, it's yeah, you play the white against the reds that get continuously harder belt levels, and they'll become harder for you to fight. It's a very simple point system. 30 seconds to decide the fights. I don't mean individual rounds, I mean fights. Just who has the highest point count at that point will win. So it's a fairly, it looks more simple than it actually is. The control system is very tight and responsive. But the trick is also that not just you need faster reactions and all that when you get to the tougher enemies, but the moves only connect at certain ranges. So it is much more skill intensive than it might the simplistic nature might first seem like. So I don't think I'll get to the black belt. So, but I'll try to give it a try. So let's get started. There's a lot of extra additional movements I'm going to make. That's because the control scheme is very tight. The Commodore system controls are basically, you have your standard movement and a fire button, and that's it. So a lot of the movements or the buttons are in very well tightly used, in that every little move almost causes some kind of strike or a switch movement or a leg sweep or something. So even minor accidental moves will cause you to do something, and I'm not that good at it. I basically tried a couple of training fights to get a feel for the guy at least a little bit, but I'm nowhere near good enough to go for the black belt at this point. Aww. Aww. Also, I'm not familiar with at what ranges do these hits actually connect. The white belt is ridiculously easy though, no matter what you do. It has no concept of it has slow reactions, and it doesn't really do anything really all that smartly. The game gets a lot more difficult when you get to the higher belt. And again, the 30-second time limit per fight is pretty unforgiving. So if the enemy some of the tougher enemies can be very hard to even harm in any way. So if they get some kind of points advantage, you probably don't have a time to even cover from that anymore. We'll go as far as we'll go. Even a single loss means game over. So I might try a few times this. I'll try to go for the back build. I'll try to give a couple of real good attempts to it, but I don't think we'll make it. We'll probably get fairly consistently to the green-purple belt area, but I doubt brown belt is... yeah, that's a different matter. Accidental turning. Yep, green belt. So somewhere around here, I think we can get fairly consistently. Oh. But here, things start to get a lot tougher. Shit. Yeah, getting hits is starting to be a lot more tougher at this point, and if they get a full hit at this point, it's game over for us, so yeah. And that's how easily things can go to a loss. If you lose even one, it's game over. And it starts from the start. Doesn't make much sense to use save states here. Surely you could, but what would be the point? It's not like there's this story or something, or the game comes very different if you reach the end or something. There's not really an end. You just fight tougher and tougher guys. See how far you can get. There might be some kind of an end there. I mean, you don't get any more tougher opponents, but it's more about how many points you get, how far do you get. There's no point in trying to use save states in a game like this. Okay, we got the green belt immediately. Not quite sure how the belt system even works. I guess it's how decisive your victories are, is how quickly you move through them. Because in one of my test fights, I think I fought basically like at least a half a dozen purple belt fights. But they were 0.5 with victories every time. And I think we lost. Yep. Match over on time, it's a tie, and you don't even get tie is the worst thing possible. You can't even put your score up if you lose into a tie. Well, you don't, strictly speaking, even lose. It's the worst possible outcome. It's better to lose than to have a tie. But that's what I mean, that was just a green belt. So if you don't manage to score fairly early on, you can be screwed, because they're not so easy to... Yeah, that there was an accidentally turning my back to the enemy. It can happen. And it's because the control system is very, very tightly used. There's no extra movements really. The white belt is truly terrible belt. You lose the white belt only because you're not unfamiliar with the control scheme. That's very likely. Once you get at least a little bit comfortable with that, you're not going to lose it anymore. I don't know how to do that punch forward. I only know how to do it through the sort of the opposite direction, like a quick turn. Okay, this is bad. Aww. Easy victory. Hopefully we can move through the green belt fast too, thanks to this. I think you do have to defeat it at least once. Fairly purely. Okay, I think we can move at least the purple if we get a victory out of this. Why didn't you... yeah, points victory? Or points victories aren't all that valuable. Shit. And we won. I'm lost. It can be over very, very, very quick. Yeah, it seems like green belt is barely our standard level of skill at the moment. I'd like to get a little bit higher. White is truly terrible. He has such poor reflexes that you can usually take him out before he has a chance to do anything. On the positive side, it means you don't really have to fight all that much against him either. And you can play terribly and still continue. Hello bells. Hello bells aren't much better. But they're not gonna fall for the start and kick maneuver too often. And they're quickly to go when at least we can move quickly to and yeah, green belt. Green belt is where we start to struggle a little bit. We'll try to be aggressive because it doesn't make... because we don't want to waste time here. If we're gonna lose, we're gonna goddamn lose. Purple belt, excellent. And now there starts to be quite a bit more action, constant movement, constant moves being made. I'd like to try to win by full point. Hopefully we can move on to the brown belt fairly soon too. If it becomes a lot of points victories... Ooh! Ah, shit. It's gonna take forever to move forward anyway. We have 10 seconds left to get at least a full point, otherwise we'll lose anyway. 9 seconds. Yeah, and it's a loss. So time can be a real enemy there. If we would have had more times, or at least be equal on points, we could have tried something, I mean properly fight, but since we're so far behind, we had to take a lot of risks to get things moving. I definitely like the more aggressive style of playing, because if you move faster to these lower level belts. And white is terrible. You just don't want to fight against white. It's just wasting your goddamn time. Everyone's wasting their time. At least yellow belts try to fight a little bit. Greens are starting to actually do things. Purple is quite nice. Yep. Still, yellow isn't exactly great. Okay, we moved onto the green. What are you doing? Again, we need points. And he's in the lead, 9 seconds left, so shit. We're in the lead, 7 seconds left. And victory for us, purple belts. Oh, right in the stomach. Another hit like that and he'll win. And he won. It's over so quickly. A little bit of a miscalculation on is your strike going to hit or not, and that's it. So it's very unforgiving system. Either you have the skills needed or the luck needed, or it's over. Very short fights, very quick fights. And a hit is a hit, it'll take you down. There's no... there is blocking, but you can't tank damage in any meaningful way. Where's this hit? Doesn't seem to be hitting at any distance. Okay, I'm losing to a white belt. Maybe I should try to do something other than tests. Yeah, I lost a white belt. So I'm sort of curious, where do some of these hits actually hit? Ah, now I see. There's so many attacks that don't require you to do any kind of a any kind of button pressing, so it's odd. Because I'm always sort of used to the fact that if you want to attack in a beat up game, you have to press a kick button or a strike button or something. But here you don't. A lot of strikes are simply done by using the movement keys. A lot of the lower strikes especially are just movement keys. There's nothing special involved in there. Be moving on to the green. It's a fairly decent fight against the yellow. Green isn't exactly great either. At times he plays just fine. At times he makes very odd choices. What the fuck are you doing? By you, I mean I. Yeah. Come on, hit the bastard. Ah, yeah. Now that I think I'm getting a little bit better at this. I'm also starting to see problems with the green. He isn't that great after all. He makes a lot of odd choices, just like the yellow. He's still better than him, but still. He has a lot of weak points in his combat style. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sure purple has them too, but I'm not. I don't have the skills to take advantage of them at the moment. We need to attack fairly aggressively, because we'll lose if we don't. Well, we lost anyway. But I'm getting more comfortable with the fighting, and it's sort of a testament to the system in a way. This is pretty much what I've played this game. So it's not like there's a huge amount of practice that has gone on before this. So you can pick up the game fairly quickly. Easy to learn, hard to master type of game, I'd say. And I do like the very fast pace of it. Usually a fighting game can last huge amount of time when you beat up the hit point bars. But this, all hits counts. Doesn't matter how big or small the hit is, it's a matter of getting the hits in the first place. I certainly don't have the reach of my strikes in control. I think that's what's basically ruins my chances of getting through purple. You have to have a better grasp both to the timing and where your strikes are going to start to hit. What the fuck are you doing? Just standing there doing nothing. Green seems to be... It's not bad, but there are certain sort of blind spots still in green. A lot of them seems to be if you manage to sort of bypass him. Go past him at the start. He sort of starts to struggle after that. Purple doesn't have that weakness, at least it's not that bad. But yeah, green definitely has it. And yeah, we're starting to move forward faster and faster, so we're clearly getting some some additional skill in the fighting. Still, wouldn't say we're especially good or anything. Where do you these hits hit? No, he's blocking! That's what the bastard's doing. Didn't know we were allowed to block. 1 second left, so at least we won this. Still, we're not even close to getting to black. Shit. Okay, it seems like the leg sweep is actually a fairly close range attack. I mean the big leg sweep. What is this? What is this? What are you doing? Jump! Jump! Yeah, lost my control there for a second. Keep aggressive attacks. Don't give them time. You're gonna fail proudly by losing the fight and evading the enemy. Yeah. He isn't a retard. But he sort of is. Oh shit. So, getting close. Don't do that! What the fuck are you doing? That was an accidental hit, by the way. We got to the brown belt. I think black belt comes after this. So that's something. Full point bullshit. It was like a second late, and I gotta. "13 seconds time." And a full loss for us. But we got the brown belt this time. I'm gonna give it one more shot. We'll go as far as we'll go. But this is what the game is. A constant learning process where you slightly improve, and at some point you just have the skill to probably go through to the black belt basically fairly consistently. I just don't want to delay it at the moment. Just go on until I reach the point. There's really no point to it, as I said. It's not like you'll get something special out of it. It's just more of the same. Okay, now the leg sweep has huge reach. I don't get the leg sweep. White allows you to hit him in the back quite often. So it's a immediate sign that he isn't very good. Yellow isn't much better. You can try something like this. I have no doubt this would not work on a purple or a green belt anymore. I also don't quite get why do you sometimes get a half point and why sometimes get a full point? What's the difference? What determines which one you get? Yeah, jump. Oh. At least we got a point out of it. What a goddamn mess. What a goddamn mess. Yeah. We do manage to basically strike them in the back and all that, but we don't have the range quite right. I'm giving it one more try. Because this ended so early anyway. But it's really, I would say that you need to know of that range. You have to be very familiar with that, because we are getting chances to hit them freely. Make a hit or two at ranges where we should be able to hit, and we're not hitting at all. Okay, I'm losing the white belt. It's wonderful. I guess you'll just get it through experience. You get the feel for it when you have to do certain moves. And that's really all there is to it. Again, why do sometimes you get half points and why sometimes full points? What's the difference? I'd like to get through the white belt, please. Well, at least we got the yellow belt this time. This will be the last attempt, no matter where we'll get. I suppose it's a good sign for a game when you sort of want to keep going at it. A fairly simple game, but still okay sounds, okay music, okay gameplay. So it's definitely a game you can sort of play almost any moment a little bit. Okay, he was a little bit faster. Oh bullshit, why didn't my hit that his did? Ah, crap. Okay, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Yeah, defeat to the green belt this time. I'd say my skill level is at the moment pretty firmly in the green belt. The fact that we managed to get to the purple and brown a few times is more about indication that if we get things to go a little bit our way, that we can push to that level, and if we get lucky, probably to the brown, and eventually we'll get to the black. But at the moment we just don't have quite that skill level. There's also one detrimental aspect by playing this on the keyboard is that you can't really repeat movements quite as fast as you could if you play with a joystick. You can do basically a fairly high frequency repeats of the same move if you play with a joystick. With the keyboard, it just that just won't do. You can get it here and there, but it's accidental. It's not something you can maintain. So anyway, that's International Karate. Fairly enjoyable game. There's an advanced version, I would say, from this, and basically International Karate Plus, I think it's called. Not quite sure what all the changes are, though. Doesn't really matter. It's basically the, I guess, further developed game of the, but it's basically the same. Still, even this is an old game, but as simplistic as it is, it looks fine. The sounds are fine. The music is just fine. The gameplay is just fine. It's about as good as a fighting game I would expect to see at this level, on this kind of a machine. And I can't really say anything bad about it. And that's a pretty big deal, because usually at least something in these games is bad. This is a nice use of coloring. The control scheme is very tight, perhaps too tight, because, well, in a sense too tight that if you don't have it fully under control, you are very likely to make accidental moves, and they can cause you to fight. But yeah, it's a very well made game.